The challenge to you is understand that you are capable of so much more than this. The only thing holding back is your willingness to process and feel this journey that you're on. What is your destiny taking you? Where is your path? What do you know is the truth that you should be doing right now? And what do you know is the truth of where you're going? Now, you may not know the details, but can you feel the impact that you are supposed to have on yourself and those around you and this world? Can you feel that impact? Are you really going to go through this lifetime just wishing it was different? Or are you going to get in the fucking game and start playing right now? The next decision is up to you. Welcome to the Do the Impossible podcast. I'm Jason Drees. Doing the impossible is as simple as it sounds. But what it's really about is living your life in a way where you're constantly exploring the expansion of your potential. I've come to understand that life is an exploration of potential. We're given challenges in life. We are given conditioning in life. We're given instructions. We're given boundaries. We're given tools. We're given ways to think and ways to be. And a lot of that information is conditioned into you to assist you. What ends up happening with this conditioning is it turns into limitation, a box you start living in. Because the conditioning ends up coming from everywhere, which turns into an average of everything. And most likely you are, or have been, average. There's some great things about being average. You have community, connection, you're liked. There's some bad things about being average. An average salary, an average job, an average relationship. Who wants to visit an average doctor? So we've all had experiences in our life of being around people who are not average. And if you're like me, you've also had things in your life that are not average. Nice experiences, nice vacations, fun friends, amazing concerts, musical moments. And you try to raise your standard of your life to have more of those come in. I know I did. It's nice to have the nice things, right? The nice bed, the nice wine, the best car. Having nice things is good. But having nice things comes from life experience of having bad things. Or less than great things, because there's all different types of things. The life you're living right now is the life you're living right now. And the life you're living right now is based upon your path, the journey of your life that you've taken to get here. Now, you can embrace that journey. You can resist that journey. You can love that journey. You can hate that journey. You can not care about that journey, but that path is yours. What I've come to realize is that the more that I push myself to explore my evolving potential, the more growth it creates, the more excitement it creates, the greater rewards. I've had a really interesting experience of struggling in business for years and years and years and years. I struggled in business 2013. Actually, no, longer than that. My first business I started in 2008. 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. Struggled as an entrepreneur until like 2019, 2020, things started to really take off. 2020, I grew my business 10x over the previous year. The year after that, I tripled it. So I've had this experience of like leaning into that growth, of exploring my full potential, has tremendous upside. And leaning into that potential is not easy. In fact, leaning into that potential is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. Because when you lean into your full potential, you start to embrace everything that you are and everything that you are not. You start to feel everything that's going on. You start to accept everything that's going on because you've got to get some directional basis of where you're going. And if you ever want to grow, you have to know where you are. And to know where you are, you have to get an evaluation and alignment of where you are right now. One of the big challenges that I've run into in the past is resistance to where I am. I've also seen clients there. Because if you're exploring your full potential and you want to get a new job or make more money or change your relationship or change your body, whatever life-changing target you are inspired by is a process of point A to point B, moving from point A to point B. I've had resistance to point A in my life. Because as I started to embrace that exploration of my full potential, I started to notice that the thing that was preventing the forward movement was emotional resistance. I would feel this desire and excitement to aim at amazing targets and do impossible things, and really started to aim at things that were beyond what everyone else around me said was possible. I knew it was possible. I believed it. But when everyone else around me said it wasn't possible, I started to guess myself. Started to question myself, started to second guess myself, that can you really do that? And I also started to understand that, like, the thing that was preventing me from playing at that higher level of that full potential was emotions. The emotions I was feeling. Because when I felt a great, amazing, positive, happy emotions, I could do amazing things. And when I felt negative emotions, I would stop, I would shut down, I would second guess myself, I would lose trust in myself. And my life has been this exploration of the tools, mechanisms, processes to transform the negative emotion I feel or eliminate it. And that's really, like, if you look at the success I have in life today, and I own a coaching company, Jason Dries Coaching. I've got a dozen coaches working for me. We've helped thousands of people around the planet. We do one-on-one coaching. We do group coaching. We do live events. I love what I do. And I'm still growing, and I'm still dealing with my growth and acceptance of that. The potential expansion and I believed was limited, and my results, by the negative emotions I feel. And if I look at everything that I've been doing over like the past 15 years, everything I've been doing from the past 15 years, if we get to a core level about it, was all about not feeling bad. I've felt bad or negative emotions every day, almost every day of my life that I can remember. And I'm coming up on, what am I going to be? 49 this year. And it's funny is that was my driver to grow and expand, to start exploring my potential. When I started, because like in 2000, when I was 27 years old and I was doing good, because when you're 27 years old and you don't have kids and you make 120 grand a year, that's doing great. And I was living for the weekend. I was working for the weekend. And I was happy. It's funny. I think I've foregone and skipped a lot of happiness over the past 20 years in my process of success. It's funny now that I'm really working to be happy again, because I've been so conditioned for success. What actually happened is I bought Tony Robbins' Personal Power CD audio system in the early 2000s. I started listening to it, and it spoke to me so well. It was this powerful new perspective to operate from that was starting to tap into my full potential. And that's when I started to wake up and realize that my potential is exponentially more than I've been living. And I started taking different actions, always wanting more. Then it was probably 2004, 2003, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book created a massive shift in my understanding of life and success and money and business. And I started working to, that book turned me into an entrepreneur. It literally took me close to 20 years after reading that book before I started to see the success I was after, to realize the success. I sometimes wonder if I never read that book, would I have just been happy in my old job? And while I like to think that I could have been happy with a W-2 job working for somebody else, I never could be, because I value freedom too much. And life I've been living has really been ever since then, is an exploration of potential and an expansion of potential and overcoming fears and building self-trust and overcoming self-judgment. From reading those books to becoming a coach, to working for the Tony Robbins organization in 2013, where my coaching started, to leaving that organization a few years later, to starting my own coaching company, to multiple businesses. It's always been an exploration of potential. And the more I explore my potential, the more growth is created. The more growth is created, the more challenge is created. The more challenges you conquer, the more success you have. And it's a cycle, and it's a continuing cycle. And what I do is I try to lean into that process as much as I can. And I've started to understand that past the belief change processes and the tapping your faces and all these other exercises that are created in the personal growth industry to help shift your mindset, I discovered how to live at the level above the mindset, how to live at the level above mindset and conditioned brain and social conditioning and neural pathways, and like literally shifting reality by shifting the frequency of you. Like when I discovered framing in 2019 or 2020, and in 2020, my head exploded. And I started to just see that we are shifting our reality and shaping our reality. The growth, though, is never ending. And it's exhausting to grow and expand, because you get into growth, you get into alignment and balance is what we are. And when you get balanced and aligned, and which creates openness, that openness creates growth. Growth creates misalignment. Misalignment needs to move back to misalignment, back to alignment. So then you go alignment, growth, misalignment, alignment, growth, misalignment, over and over and over again in other areas of your life, in your work life, in your financial life, in your relationship, in your parenting. That's the process. And through all of this, there are people who live this and stand out in greatness. Some people would say that's me. I have people following me. There's also people I follow, and there's other people that live in that level of greatness. So if you are still in your process of discovering your greatness and leaning into and discovering your path to success, because you don't want to work for somebody else. I remember in high school, my dad's like, when I got my first job when I was 15 at the golf course, my dad's like, "Hey, great, son. Now you can work for 40 years, 45 years, and then retire like me." And I said, fuck that. I thought that was the most insane idea I've ever heard. Why would I want to spend 45 years of my life doing something I'd rather not do at all? So if that is you, and you're ready to realize more in your life, you need to lean into the exploration of your potential. And it doesn't matter you're making 50 grand a year or 100 grand a year or $1 million a year. I work with clients that make 10 million a year. I work with clients that are worth 9 figures. And the funny thing is, a lot of the clients I work with who are making 8 and 9 figures, they're still playing defense. If you play defense, you are on a declining path in life. You have to grow. You have to expand, because playing defense is basically you saying you're going to lose what you've got. And wherever you are right now, whether it's $100 million, $1 million, or an amazing partner, or an amazing friend, or an amazing bicycle, it doesn't matter. Playing defense is only going to keep that for so long, because eventually that bike's going to wear out. Eventually that partner will grow, and if you don't grow with them, you're not going to keep them. You got to get back on offense. And it doesn't matter that the world looks kooky and crazy right now, because the world does look kooky and crazy right now. It looks like the playground is on fire. But you know something? You don't have to go set yourself on fire just to be like everyone else. Think about this for a second. The last 2 years, this virus thing came out. I don't even like to say the word. The past 2 years, some of the most challenging times economically, what we're told by the media. How was your past 2 years? How was it? Was your past 2 years terrible? Was it amazing? Somewhere in the middle. What I've found, the past 2 years of my life have been the best 2 years of my life. I'd say probably 70 to 80% of my clients, the past 2 years were the best 2 years of your life. You have the ability now to live your life independent of what's going on in the world around you. You are so powerful, it doesn't matter.
Hey, it's Jason. If you're a struggling entrepreneur and you're ready to level up your income, fill out this form right here, because I can help you do that. This 20-minute call will help unlock a higher level version of your success, and it's directly with me. Click this link right now to get started.
So if you're ready to unlock your next level, you need to get out of reaction. You need to stop playing fucking defense. You need to start playing offense. And it doesn't matter how much you've got or how much you don't have. Defense is not going to get you anywhere. You only score on offense. Scoring on defense is exponentially harder than scoring on offense. You are capable of far more than you're doing right now. You know this 100%. The only thing stopping you from stepping into that full potential is the emotions you feel along the way. And here's the thing, those emotions aren't going to go away. What you do and how you feel are two different things. The reason we feel so much emotion when we start embracing life is because we start living our lives in the microscope of everything's fine, in this self-contained world. It's like, I'm going to make it just like this. I got my job, I got my partner, I got my kids, and this is it. It's a small and I don't want to fix. Well, that's not going to happen. Life is growth. Life is change. The way that you start moving forward is just make a decision right now. Say out loud, I am going to explore my full potential. Say that, like repeat this out loud. I'm going to explore my full potential. Notice how that feels. When you change the game by setting the standard higher, you will start operating differently. You can chug along for the next 25 years or 40 years and 50 years being fucking average like everybody else. You absolutely can. Or you can lean into the growth that life is giving you right now. Face that emotion that doesn't feel good. Face those stories that you need to change and work your way through it. Once you're in the game, success will find you. You will find it. You'll find it next week, next month, next year, next decade. Took me almost 20 years to find the success I was chasing. Is it going to take you 20 years? Well, if it's 20 years, would you accept being a billionaire in 20 years? Now, you can move faster than I can. You can learn from my expertise. I'm sharing you all the secrets so you don't have to go through the long lessons I did. But you need to remember that you are far more capable than you're doing right now. And the way you start implementing that, and your brain may be saying right now, yes, I'm capable of more, and I'm going to do more. And your brain may be saying, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And that's fantastic. Your brain is probably firing off ideas right now as you hear me talk. If you want to capture those ideas, fantastic. But what I want to challenge you to focus on is not doing more right now. I want to challenge you on being more right now. I'm saying to you, now I know that everybody that listens to this, only a percentage are actually going to lean in. You can be one of those people where this goes in one ear, out the other. Or you could be the one that this is life-changing. You get to decide that. You get to lean into this process. So the challenge to you is understand that you are capable of so much more than this. So much more. The only thing holding back is your willingness to process and feel this journey that you're on. If I wouldn't have leaned into my journey, there's thousands of lives that have not been changed. What is your destiny taking you? Where is your path? What do you know is the truth that you should be doing right now? And what do you know is the truth of where you're going? Now, you may not know the details, but can you feel the impact that you are supposed to have on yourself and those around you and this world? Can you feel that impact? Are you really going to go through this lifetime just wishing it was different? Or are you going to get in the fucking game and start playing right now? Because something, getting in the game is difficult and challenging, and it's hard. Getting in the game and exploring that full potential may actually be the most hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life. And not doing it is just the same. There's no difference. You sit here and just keep doing the same thing, you're going to feel exactly the same. Because you have to process those feelings, that misalignment, your journey, your emotional journey. You have to embrace that. And you can embrace that wishing you're somewhere else, or you can embrace that while you're doing and growing and expanding and giving it all you've got. And what you need to remember is that when you start being the version of you that you want to be, your thoughts will start to change, your desires will start to change, your emotions will start to change. Now, you may be being a state of financial abundance and not seeing the money in this moment because you're just in a part of the process where you don't see the money yet. So stop ending the process. Stay leaned in. Decide right now that you're going to explore your full potential, that you are going to give it all you've got because you want to, because you choose to, because you're worth it, because your family's worth it, because you're tired of taking fucking staycations and you want to live your life to the fullest, and you don't believe all the stuff the media and the government is changing like that. Is that really going to impact you? Or can you rise above it? Can you rise above it? The next decision is up to you. Now it's time to start being. Lean into that full potential and join me on this journey of exploration of you and your life, and watch what happens, and watch what unfolds, and watch the amazing thing that life has for you, that's waiting for you the second you say yes to your life and saying yes to leaning in and yes to the process. Because if you're saying no, you're resisting all this help that life is giving you. There's so much for you there, and you're capable of so much more. So start being that version of you now. Notice how that feels. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.